Hello, 8th graders. Happy April 1. Happy April Fool's Day. I was going to play a joke on you, but I couldn't come up with anything fun to do, so I thought I'd just let you laugh at me instead. I found this gem of a picture. This is me in 6th grade. Check out my frizzy perm, my cool light blue teddy bear sweatshirt, my wide leg black pants with my bright white tennies. I am at my grandma's house practicing my clarinet with my cousin. So there you go. Laugh away. I can take it. The joke's on me. But one thing that is not a joke is the verse that we talked about yesterday. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I loved seeing the pictures of all of your Post-its and notes hanging up. May that give you great peace and comfort and hope that Jesus never changes. Today, we are going to forge through ahead with more information about the political parties. I'm going to quickly do this for you. Hopefully this makes sense. We have two sides. This side, loose interpretation of the Constitution, giving them more power, kind of giving them some leeway to make some decisions. Strict interpretation, word for word. The government can only do what's exactly said in there, giving them less power. Okay, so we have Alexander Hamilton over here with big government, loose interpretation. We have Thomas Jefferson over here, word for word, less power to the government, more power to the common people. If you notice, those are members of Washington's cabinet. So you have two of his trusted advisors that are on the opposite end of those political views, Hamilton and Jefferson, and they're at odds with each other all the time. Washington wants to stay out of that whole thing of political parties. Could you turn in your book to page 256? Pause if you need to get this out, but 256. And remember this number. All right, here we go, page 256. The American people generally admired President Washington and his service to the nation. Still, there was some harsh attacks that appeared from time to time in newspapers. One paper even called Washington the scourge of the misfortune of this country. Most attacks on Washington came from the supporters of Thomas Jefferson, so this side. They hoped to weaken the support for the policies of Alexander Hamilton, which the president seemed to favor. In fact, by 1796, the supporters of Jefferson and Hamilton were beginning to form the nation's first political parties. At that time, many Americans thought political parties were harmful to good government. The Constitution made no mention of parties because its authors saw no good use for them. Washington disapproved of political parties, or factions as they were known. He warned that they would divide the nation. Remember, that's one of his pieces of advice from yesterday's assignment. Don't let political parties form. To others, though, it just seemed kind of natural that people would disagree about issues. They also knew that people who hold similar views tend to band together. But Washington's cabinet was clearly divided on key issues. Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson had very different views. They disagreed on economic policy, on foreign relations. They didn't share the same opinion on the power of the federal government or on the meaning of the Constitution. Even Washington was partisan, clearly favoring one faction. The president believed that he stood above politics, though, but he kind of leaned towards supporting Hamilton's view. This is what you're going to do today. You're going to finish reading page 257 and 258, and you're going to fill out 3 graphic organizers as you do that. I'm going to pull those up a second out of classwork. In your to-do list, you'll find them right there. Okay, the first 2 are exactly the same. You're going to read page 257, as it says here in like the first little paragraph on page 258, and you're going to tell me about the 2 political parties that you read about there. Okay, give me the name of each party. So the name on this one, and then the name of the other one on this one. who was the leader of each party, and then tell me their views on things. So this first party, what's their view of the role of the government? How do they think we should read the Constitution? How do they feel about the national bank? What do they think the role of the people is? I give you a few hints over here about some other places that you could get some information. But you're going to compare the two political parties in those first two graphic organizers. All right? Then you're going to read the last two quick sections on page 258. And as you do that, you're going to fill out this graphic organizer about how did Washington feel and who won the 1796 election. All right, so it should be pretty self-explanatory as you read those pages to fill those things out. Remember this number too. All right, follow the instructions in classroom plus the instructions that I just gave you. Do your very best. Read well, write well, contact me with questions. Thanks, Chargers.